Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something pretty cool, the evolution of growing your own food. We're going to see how it went from this really intimidating thing to a super smart, tech-powered way to get more self-sufficient. It's a story that starts, believe it or not, in a tiny one-foot square of dirt and ends with a huge vision for our future.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the problem every new gardener faces. Then, we'll look at a game-changing solution that simplified everything. From there, we'll see how that idea grew, literally, into 3 dimensions. And finally, we'll explore how AI is now helping us create the perfect garden and maybe even build a whole new way to think about food.
Okay, let's start with the feeling I think a lot of us can relate to. You get this urge to grow your own food, to be a little more in control of what you eat. But then, reality hits. What do I plant? When? Is my soil right? What about pests? It's just a lot. And that complexity can honestly be paralyzing.
And yet, there's actually a name for this feeling: gardening imposter syndrome. It's this nagging thought that you just don't have the secret green thumb that other people do, so why even bother? And that fear, it's what keeps so many of us stuck relying on the big industrial food system, even when we really want to break free.
But here's the thing. The source material points out something crucial. Most gardens don't fail because people don't care. They fail because we're trying to be human supercomputers. You're out there trying to process 50 different variables: sunlight, water, soil pH, pests, you name it, all at once. It's just exhausting. And it shows we didn't need more effort. We needed a simpler system.
So, how do you fix an information overload problem? Well, decades ago, someone came up with a truly brilliant idea, a concept that basically took all that complexity and just simplified it, making gardening something anyone could do.
And that was square foot gardening, or SFG. This was a total paradigm shift. It took the sprawling, chaotic idea of a traditional garden and put it into a neat, tidy little box. It turned chaos into a manageable grid. And suddenly, you didn't need a huge backyard to grow a ton of food.
The real genius of square foot gardening is in these 3 pillars. It's a formula, and that formula takes away all the guesswork. You standardize the space with a grid, you perfect the soil with a specific mix, and you follow a simple recipe for how many plants go in each square. It's like an operating system for your garden bed.
But of course, good ideas evolve. The next logical step was to think beyond the flat 2D grid. The new question became, what if we started using the space above the soil? What if we started thinking in 3 dimensions?
And you can really see the leap here. We go from square foot gardening to what you might call cubic foot gardening. This new SFG plus way of thinking brings in more advanced ideas, like growing plants vertically on trellises, companion planting, or plants help each other out, and even principles from permaculture. The goal isn't just a big harvest anymore, it's a diverse, resilient little ecosystem.
But, with all this amazing new potential comes a familiar problem. Complexity is back, and it's back with a vengeance. We've created what the source calls a microclimate knowledge gap. Suddenly you're not just planning in a grid, you're trying to be an ecologist, managing all these new interacting variables.
So, how do we bridge this new, even more complex knowledge gap? Well, this is where the story takes a very modern turn. The idea is to create a perfect partnership between technology and soil.
Now you might be thinking, easy, I'll just ask ChatGPT to plan my garden. The problem is, if you ask a generic AI a generic question, you get what the source calls agricultural hallucinations. Completely useless advice, like it telling you to plant a cactus in a swamp because it doesn't understand your specific environment.
So the solution isn't just any AI, it's a smarter tool. The SQF prompt architect doesn't give you answers. Instead, it acts like an expert interviewer. It uses a clever meta prompt to turn a regular AI into a consultant that asks you all the right questions, guiding you to build your own perfect custom garden plan.
So what does that actually look like? How does this whole silicon and soil synthesis really work? Let's break down how you get from a bunch of questions to that master blueprint for your garden.
It's actually a really elegant 2-step process. First, there's the guided extraction. This is where the AI interviews you. It walks you through a structured conversation to pull out all the critical, hyperlocal details about your garden, your goals, and your challenges.
And look at this list. It is incredibly thorough. It's asking about everything: the size of your bed, your climate zone, how much sun you get, what you actually like to eat, and even what local pests you have to deal with. It leaves no stone unturned.
And this is where the magic happens. All of your answers get bundled together into one single perfect master prompt.
This isn't just a simple question, it's a highly detailed set of instructions. You feed this to an AI, and what you get back is a flawless garden plan, completely tailored to you. All the guesswork is just gone.
But this technology is about so much more than just one person's perfect garden. When you zoom out, what we're really talking about is the blueprint for a whole new kind of food system, one that's decentralized, resilient, and built by communities.
This opens the door to something called open source agriculture. Think about it. Instead of just sharing extra zucchini with your neighbors, what if you could share the digital blueprint for a perfect harvest? You could download a proven master prompt for growing amazing tomatoes in your exact neighborhood, and then upload your own successful plan for others.
And that leads to this incredible vision, a decentralized food web. It means we rely less on those long, fragile supply chains. It means we build a strong, anti-fragile network of local food producers. It's about democratizing expert knowledge and empowering communities with what's called food sovereignty, real control over their food supply.
This quote from the source really just nails it. By mastering this new digital tool, the prompt, we can master the soil. And in doing that, we're not just growing vegetables, we're reclaiming a fundamental piece of our own independence. We're using our most futuristic tools to get back to our roots.
So we end with this really powerful question. If this kind of technology can remove the knowledge barrier and help one person perfect a single square foot of soil, just imagine what we could do on a larger scale. What could our towns, our cities, our communities grow if the only thing left that we needed was the will to plant a seed together?